Bet Online is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting. From the earliest odds to in-game live betting, Bet Online provides you with all the action and the ability to watch the games as they happen. With the largest selection of odds on everything from football, NBA, and college basketball, NHL to UFC and MMA. Head to Bet Online today to get in on all the action with America's most trusted site for online wagering. Bet Online, the game starts here.
Like Benson, I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Long as I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. Sports Coma, yeah, this is where we do that. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that. Boogie like Benson, I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Sports Coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Somebody please better help. Running this thing like Elf. I thank God every day I'm not a felt. Go to YouTube Live with Big Q and the guys. If you ain't ride or die, the bandwagon get flipped. Been marching in, that was way for the ring. I was yelling out your shame for the championship. Fucking on town, duck down. Falcons, pluck, get shut down. Panthers ain't much touchdown. The vision really belong to us now. So much hate on the Saints, you could probably tell. Ever since Bounty Gate hit the NFL, when things seem fishy and you probably smell the crooked referees on Roger Goodell. Fucking like this and I'm a who that. Every day I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. It's the Sports Coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that. Boogie like this and I'm a who that. It's the Sports Coma, this is where we do that.
You're listening to the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys on the PRO Media Network.
All right, shout out to the fam, man. Appreciate y'all for being in the stream, man. Welcome. We're now rocking with the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys, but we have intense, entertaining, educating, and enlightening sport talk from your favorite sports fam. Shout out to you guys. Appreciate you being in the live, man, and shout out to you on this Sunday, man. So big ups to you guys. The last Sunday before it's Xmas time, man. One of the biggest holidays of the year. And we here to talk a little black and gold with the fam, man. So I appreciate y'all, man. Hope y'all having a fantastic Sunday, man. We in this thing recapping actually going over the news. We watched a lot of football today. And, of course, the main news, they made it official, as you can see on screen, as Saints officially eliminated from the playoffs contention. And this is on a very pathetic and sad season, man. Really sad, trifling, and pathetic season. Horrible season for the Saints. A lot of crap, non-leadership, and very horrible. And it will then have a to be continued section in the forms of the New Orleans Pelicans, who are also a 5-win team. So the part 2 transitions from football to basketball. If you didn't know. All right, but anyway, let's go over some of this stuff. Shout out to you guys for being in the stream. I see you, OG Jerry, Gundam, Ty. Shout out to y'all, man. Appreciate you, GM Kev. Much love, man. Appreciate y'all being in the stream. And this is put up here, I think, by SNF. They showing the Saints officially eliminated. That it needed to be a picture of Mickey Loomis right there, with his hands up, looking at things. But like the thumbnail astutely places all the blame on these three folks right here. One brand ambassador, the guy to the left, Dennis Lauscher, is not present as a president. He knows nothing about what's going on the field and totally relies on the guy to the right, which is he completely out of his mind. He's completely out of his mind and needs to be ran off, or basically at least changed out of his position to something else, because this is ridiculous. This was his plan. So, this is he can't be trusted to steer the ship in the right direction when you're the one you basically piloted into jagged rocks. And he's basically Mickey Loomis and Lauscher is basically the captains of the Titanic which have got forewarning, hey, man, don't put that ship through that area, man. We just had ships that went through that days before, and they said that's heavy amounts of icebergs there that'll sink you to the bottom of the drink. Don't go through that direction, dummy. So they did, and oh, hold on now. That guy's not going to tell me a goddamn thing about this ship. I'm going to do what the hell I want to do. And then runs it into one of the world's biggest icebergs, and bam, bing, boom, there it is. Well, it's not my fault. Well, whose fault is it? Well, that's them goddamn icebergs. They shouldn't have been out there. Oh, I know. Well, and that's the logic of these people. So we've been hardcore on the backs of the Saints and demanding change. They basically waited a little too long, man, a lot too long to fire Dennis Allen. 7 games it took before he was forced out of it. That's how bad it got. And the Saints could not recoup. There was not enough change done for the Saints to be able to turn it around, and they kind of got where they got. So you can take a look at the schedule right here. Started off the year 2 blowout losses, then the floor fell out. They then went from 2-0 to 2-7 real quick, losing games, ultimately getting them fired. They lost to at the worst team in the league at the time, the Carolina Panthers, who have made a considerable amount of progress with Bryce Young there because the pressure's not on him to do anything. He could just play free. And they've reaped the rewards of having such a season, but not for the Saints. The Saints aren't a young team. They can't do that. As an older team, one of the NFL's oldest teams, the Saints have to win right now. They have completely wasted the window that they had to do anything, completely wasted it away, completely, utterly wasted it while we were telling them this the whole damn time. The whole time, you are going in the wrong direction, you flipping idiot, you. Oh, hold on now. I know what I'm doing. You can't tell me anything. I'm an NFL general manager, and look where your team is right now. Completely insane. But are going to remain hidden until the end of the season, and then spin the reason why they lost was because of injuries. That's why, that's what, and it's just the same stuff all over. Just don't let them make it with that injury nonsense. Everybody has injuries. It's still your job to win games. That's what it comes. If you don't like it, then don't do the damn job. Don't take the job. So like I said, you look at it, 7 straight losses here on the schedule. Then they went 2 wins against Atlanta and Carolina, Cleveland, come out of the bye week, lose a winnable game to the Rams, then beat a garbage time Giants team barely, and then lose a game against the Commanders, which they should have won. So it was kind of an up and down affair here. With a 3-2 mark with the interim coach, Buddy showed enough to let us know that he's obviously not the guy. He's scared of the offense, of doing anything pertaining to checking the offense. It like gives him goosebumps, so he's allergic to even go over there. Can't happen, man. We can't play with you like that. We need somebody with some good sense to understand what you need to do. Did y'all people see that great play by the Detroit Lions? Put one in the chat if you guys seen that great play by the Detroit Lions, where the guy pretended like he fell down on the play, like the quarterback pretended to stumble. The running back fell down on the play. The safeties stopped. It's like, what's going on there? And then Laporta was able to get behind him and he threw a touchdown. Did you see that? That was incredibly imaginative. He just created a whole trend that people didn't see. Now, they had plays before, but when you have, if you can create plays where it looks like they're struggling to get the playoff, like they're falling and stumbling down to get the playoff, if you can mix that into your offense, there is, how much of an advantage you would have over defenses, because that's the whole thing. The safeties are watching the ball. They're watching to see what's going on. And while they're watching the ball, your guy is still running. The guy is still running. And next thing you know, he's there for a touchdown. That was brilliant. Brilliant play. Hold on. Let me see if I can put it together. Give me a second, fam. Maybe I can show it to y'all. Because it was an absolutely brilliant play by the Detroit Lions. Hold on. Let me see if I can pull that Detroit play up, where the guy looked like he was stumbling and fumbling and bumbling. And it was all, in the words of Biggie Smalls, it was all a dream to them. Absolutely brilliant play by Detroit. Hold on, I'm gonna play it for y'all, man. Hold on, give me a second. Here it is right here. Here's the play right here. Let me slow it down a little bit here so you guys can kind of see it a little better. But this was absolutely brilliant. I wish we had some kind of guy that know what the hell he was doing. Y'all watch this. Look at this play. Watch. Here's the ball. The ball got to slow down so you can see it. Watch the play. Quarterback's under. He's going to pretend to fall. Look, both of them fall down. Look at the defense. Don't know what to do and why. It's just the play. Look, he reaches up, throws. Look at the Porter. Hey, look, triple coverage for a touchdown. Absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Did you see that? They complete. Look, they put complete that. That is brilliant. That is absolutely brilliant what they did. Look, he pretend to trip. Look, they both fall down. The defense says, "Oh no, what's going on here?" And then the guy says, "Oop, fooled you," and then throws into triple coverage, beat everybody. That, my friends, that is the type of play calling that you need, that we would need to have down here. Some brilliance, not this bullshit this guy running down here. That was brilliant. If you can mix 4 to 5 styles of plays and mix them in every now and again where it looks like you committing an error and freeze the defense, man, you can tear these people up with that. That was a brilliant play. Absolutely brilliant play by Ben Johnson, who is head coached by Matt Campbell, another former Saints assistant coach. Boy, when the Saints screw the pooch, they really do end up screwing the pooch. All right. Anyway, let's move into some of the news, man, as well. Let me get the super chat. Shout out to Jim Kev, man, says the easy thing to do. Oh, let me get my Mickey together. Oh, yeah, hold on. Let me get it. Oh, the easy thing to do, the lazy thing to do, is blame the coach. You have to look this through an independent lens, Q. And you have to not be, you don't get beyond the results. What results are that? What are those results? The results of another eliminated season where people were telling you were doing the wrong things and you persisted to do it anyway because we were telling you to do them. You were doing them against us. Well, why would I listen to you guys? You don't know. And obviously you don't. We know better than your dumb ass. All right. So anyway, here's the article right here. Shout out to Bob. Shout out to Bob Rose here. Here, the Saints officially eliminated from playoff contention. New Orleans playoff picture is becoming clearer in week 16, but it will not include the New Orleans Saints. All right. And this one, Bob wrote this one, the Atlanta Falcons 34-7 victory over the hapless Giants on Sunday. The New Orleans Saints have been officially eliminated from postseason contention. The Saints would have also been eliminated if the Tampa Bay Buccaneers beat the Cowboys on Sunday night. New Orleans also had already been eliminated from earning a wild card spot before this week. However, they had one remaining scenario to get into the playoffs by winning the NFC South. Entering week 16, the Saints needed to win all of the 3 remaining games, while also needing both Atlanta and Tampa Bay to lose their last 3 games. Wasn't going to happen. This is the 4th straight year that the New Orleans Saints have missed the playoffs. It's the longest stretch without a postseason appearance since the 5-year period between 2005 and 2001, and 2005. That was part of a stretch where the Saints made just one playoff trip in 2000 over a 13-year period, right? And it is so very fitting for the Saints because the disastrous crap that we see going on now is pre-Peyton level, right? It's before this is between 2005, 2001. That is the Jim Haslett area of time for the Saints, where we didn't have a lot of consistency. And the thing was, like we seen here, and the big problems with the Saints were, you can tie them to 2 people, really 3 people if you want. Also, you could throw Sean Payton in it. Over the time, the Saints have gotten to the point, I've been calling this out for years, that this team has become lustfully attached to making money to the point where that's all they care about. They never tell you over the last several years in coach form or owner or general manager or VP, whoever, however you want to term them, that, hey, man, we're going to win this Super Bowl this year. We're going to play for Super Bowl, stuff like that. You don't hear all that. They've been riding that one Super Bowl trophy for years now, every year, and just literally hooking you in with the same line. And I make jokes about it. You go down at a facility, you got this dumbass Super Bowl sign up there so old it's fading. They don't even paint it, but it's fitting. If you go there, put one in the chat if y'all been down there and know what I'm talking about. For some of the family members that actually live down in this area, you can actually go there and see it's a faded Super Bowl sign from the year that they won it. It's been faded out by the sun. They don't paint it or nothing, but it's perfect for what this description is in terms of what I'm saying, because it shows how they've been basically eating off the Who Dat Nation for years and not producing anything worth anything. Not doing anything of any respectable nature over the last 4 years. You getting it now? For those who didn't get it, you're getting it now? You understand what this is? Because if you don't get it, you can just look at the basketball side. They're doing the same thing over there. It's an attempt to make money. I am a capitalist. I believe in making money because I know for a fact that there are people out there that will tell you that making money for your family is bad so that they can control you with the money that they make. Not saying any blue collar person. This is stuff that's above the blue collar people. But that's why there'll be excursions of people that cast these weird philosophies on you being a capitalist or you doing it, not understanding the difference between capitalism and what's termed crony capitalism. They're miseducated on that by the people that want to use the real capitalism to control them with the money. Even some of these nations that were having that philosophy have turned capitalists. It's the only way you're going to compete in a world where money, you need money for resources. What's wrong with us? But when it comes down to the Saints sports wise and talking wise, man, listen, this is a disaster. If you want the money, you do it the right way. You don't make excuses and you get the best leadership you can find. The Saints kept attaching themselves to the past because they made so much money doing it that it made sense for them to keep doing it. Now there's nothing to attach to. It's nothing to attach to. And the guy that's actually you thought was doing something was actually a gopher being told by another man to do it. That's Coach Payton. When Coach Payton left, he exposed them all as frauds. All of them. Not who you thought they were. So in the end, the results, regardless of whether your belief cycles or not, the results are the results. This is the fourth straight year the Saints are not going to be hitting at a playoff run, right? Is this surprising to the nation? Not really. To the great Saint think tank? Not really. Not really. When you don't come with accountability and you don't put guys on blast when they don't do their jobs, this is what you get. Shit, I'm known and I got 6 shooters everywhere shooting at them, trying to get them to do right. I really do. I hammer the players. I hammer the leadership because that's what you're supposed to do if this is your squad. You're not supposed to sit quietly by why they just tear everything up and they make a fool of the region and you under your name. Now, if you carry the New Orleans name, you're going to do right. You're going to do what you're supposed to. You ain't going to embarrass us with this bullshit. And that's what we own. And they don't like that at all. They just want you to give money. We give money. We reward you if you put a good product on the field or on the court. And if you're not doing that, we're not going to give you this money. No, you don't deserve it. We don't pay. We're not paying for bad, man. All right. What doomed the Saints this year, according to Bob, was a 7-game losing streak after winning their first 2 games to start the year. 4 of those losses were to conference opponents, including 3 to the NFC South rivals. The last of those 7 straight losses on the road at Woeful, Carolina, caused New Orleans to fire Dennis Allen. They played noticeably better under Rizzi, but it is still a case of too little, too late. Currently, and Bob's right, and I would add this too, because the Saints had an opportunity to actually win. The Rams game was a winnable game. Do you guys agree? The Rams game was a winnable game. The Washington Commanders game was a very winnable game had the Saints done something in the first half as opposed to just sit up there and let that offense stink out like that. If they you score 1 field goal in the game, or then again, then you can kind of go back prior to the game and say, why would Rizzi make the decision to go with Hayner when we all know Rattler was the better man? Why would you do that? Why would you have such a ghastly decision to make? Why would you do such a ghastly decision? Why would you make such a bad decision there and then do not rectify the situation until half the game is over with? Then wonder why you lost and then say, I'm proud of my team. You proud of what? What are you proud of? A loss? Well, the way we fought, we know there are no moral victories here, man. What are you talking about? That's why, eventually we're going to send him back to the special team room in which he belongs. Everybody cannot be a head coach. You have to take command of the offense. And I was saying it when I seen him. I'm like, okay, I see what you did with the defense. I see what you did with the special teams, but you ain't do shit with that offense. That man left you that offense. That offense got problems. That guy calling those plays is not imaginative enough. He don't know how to use his personnel consistently. His plays suck at times. It didn't make any call to it, didn't do anything. And then you thought you just had to fix a few things on defense. And we kept saying it. We said the whole time we knew this damn team was screwed up. When you have the kind of play calling they were called, like, man, what's going on here? Offensive line with starters back stinking, can't block correctly, got manhandled by the Giants, had issues with the Commanders, and it's just up and down, in and around, all around, and all of this needs to be looked at. And I do not have any confidence that a Mickey Loomis will know how to fix it. He's a moron. He doesn't know anything about none of this. He doesn't evaluate his teams. He doesn't do evaluations till the season is over with. That's why the team's falling through the season. Who's evaluating the team? Who's talking to the players? It's not him. He don't even talk to the players. How you the general manager of a team and you don't talk to the personnel to see how they're doing? How you doing that? It's a joke. It's a joke. It's a bad joke. So anyway, let's move it along, man. Anyway, so he says they followed Dennis Allen. They played noticeably better under Rizzi. Currently 5-9, the Saints face 10-4 Green Bay on the road Monday night this week in a cold environment. The Saints' 9 losses, 6 were to NFC opponents. Their 4-6 conference record all but guaranteed them to come up on the short end of the most tiebreaker scenarios for either the division title or a wild card spot. 4 losses in the final minutes of the fourth quarter, including 3 in the waning seconds, drastically changed the outcome of the season. However, good teams find a way to win those games. This is true. In the last 3 of the 4 years, New Orleans has put themselves in a position where they needed to win out while still depending on outside help to sneak into the postseason. That's called not taking care of your business. Good teams don't need help from bad teams or their rivals for them to get an opportunity to get in the playoffs. The Saints repetitively and consistently and persistently always need help, especially like Bob alludes to over the last 4 years. Again, good teams are supposed to do what they need to do to take control of their destiny. The Saints are not going to the playoffs because they simply did not take care of business on the field. And as a result, this franchise faces several crucial and difficult decisions this offseason if they hope to get back into the upper echelon of the NFL. Very good story here by Bob. Shout out to Kyle T. Mosley, Brother Bob, and the Saints News Network. Really good article. It's just one of the situations is a ghastly performance, man, this year by the Saints. Very laughable. But the crazy part about the whole thing is we as the Who Dat Nation did everything we can to sound the alarm, whatever we could do. Call these people out on Front Street. We did everything we could do. We put them on blast. I put several players on blast who's supposed to be team leaders, but don't open up their mouths to do nothing about nothing on the field. Put them on blast. And in the end, this team deserves what it deserves to get, which is nothing. It's just downright true to form. So all these guys who are on offense, the Clint Kubiaks and all these other guys, get ready to be prepared to be put in the street when the season is over with. And we wipe the slate clean with every coach that we have. I like Coach Woods. He should be considered. Maybe we get 1 or 2 of these guys back. But it's a whole nother thing. And then at the top, before we even get there, we need to decipher new leadership in the Saints building. VP job, let Loomis keep it, but no more general manager. That needs to stop. He has destroyed the cap situation for the Saints for the next 2 years. The Saints are, $60 million in the red. They would then have to work back to get enough money to be able to sign returning players and potential free agents as well as draft picks. And they would have to then kick that 25 amount into 26, which is 20-something odd, 25, 26 million in the black. But depending on how much money the Saints use this year, it will be kicked into 2026, which will drive that number closer to the red. And then when 27 comes, that's when you are totally out of cap hell. But granted, the window of opportunity that you have as an organization or a franchise is over with. Whatever you thought you can do in terms of Taysom Hill and Demario Davis, Tyrann Mathieu, and Cam Jordan, that's over with. They completely wasted away the entire 3 to 4 year cycle. So not putting your, forcing your team on a dilapidated road is not the way to go. The Saints really need to go through a full evaluation from the top. Starting with Gail, needs to hire her own little team here. And word on the street is that she got some people she listening to. I don't know how intelligent they are, but they were partly responsible for hearing the word of the support base as well as the players to get Dennis Allen out of here, despite Mickey Loomis doing anything. Dennis Lauscher is not even present. He don't have nothing to do with the decision makers. He just collecting the check as a president and allowing Mickey Loomis to make whatever decisions he make to tear the team up. So I would start right there. And Gail, if she don't know what she's doing, or she can't hire the proper personnel, she needs to sell the team, because this is systemic to not only the Saints, but the Pelicans are going to these same issues right now. I do the show, the Pelican Post Game Report. We talk about this all the time. It's the same junk that you see with the Saints that's happening with the Pelicans. Same stuff. Same, because they use the same blueprint that don't work. So you start with Lauscher. You rebrand Lauscher to a treasurer or whatever you want to be, the top accountant, whatever you want to call it. That's what you rebrand, and you go out and get you a real GM. A guy that knows football, a former player who got that executive training that you've seen Kai being into. That's what you do. You get you a real GM, because they're out there. You hire you a real football person that knows ball and make him the president. And then you get another general manager with Kai Hartley. You take it to strip Mickey Loomis of his title, the GM title, and give it to Kai. That's what you do. So that's two moves right there that helps out at the top, even though I would like to have another football person there. But just because these people are so far behind in how this team's supposed to look, we'll just leave it at those two. And then after that, allow Kai Hartley to be able to go and find his own damn head coach. Let him find his own coach. Let him go find his own guy. And then with Kai, because I know he'll be more hands-on than Mickey Loomis ever was, because Mickey Loomis is not a hands-on general manager. He just collecting a check at the title. He don't do any evaluation work during the year. He admitted to that during the last year. I think the year before last, he says he's too emotional. His words were, he's too emotional when they win. He's too emotional to do evaluations. And when he loses, he's too emotional. So basically, he ain't doing it either way. And that's a bullshit comment. You're just collecting a check for nothing. And it's time for that to stop. These other guys got to go. They don't know what they're doing. So, we'll just start there. And right there, that's enough for the family members. Like, okay, let's see what you got going on. And then you just wash and repeat on the Pelican side. You wash and repeat on the Pelican side. So in the end, man, we'll see what they got going on. Because at the end of the day, we're not giving y'all no goddamn money. Y'all can go to hell with that. All right, Brian's, thank you for being a member over the last 12 months.
Thank you. Fuck too kind.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate you there. Wayo says it's all good. Yes, indeed. It is all good. Because this is the plan. The plan is for this to happen, because this is enough to piss off people that have not quite gotten there in terms of not cutting their support. Right? They're starting to get it now. That this is you're like, hold on now. Y'all being disrespectful here. What's going on here? They starting to get it now. Y'all got it a couple years ago, but some people it take a little longer, and that's okay. But now that they're starting to get it, that the Saints are just here to make money off you, and they're not really fielding a team that's worth anything. And then when they fail, they just come out with a lot of excuses, or they just simply hide from you. like Mickey Loomis did a couple years ago when he was hiding, talking about he had to. What was the reason that he said? Oh, well, I had to wait for the anger to subside. Now, it wasn't you angry. You not angry about nothing. Hell no, you wasn't angry. If you was angry, you'd have done something during the season. If you were angry, you would have stopped the slide at 3 games, not 7. And you didn't stop the slide. She did, and she forced you to do it. And then you talking about, no, don't fire him. So he is completely, in the way it went down, he has lost all my confidence. Whatever little confidence I had in Mickey Loomis, I've completely lost respect and confidence in him because of his elitist, fake employee elitist terms that he's made, the berating of the reporters and all that kind of stuff that he's did over time, and Lauscher and none of them checking him on how his behaviors. It's time. It's time to pay your due. It's time to pay your dues. All right. Anyway, much love to y'all, man. I appreciate y'all being in the stream on this one, man. Listen, it's a bit of good news here, some bad news. Something like, damn, Q, in 4 years straight without getting it in there. And this was definitely a possibility, man. But like I always say, this is necessary because you're gonna have to have a little pain in terms of growth. There's sometimes when you grow, you got growing pains. And these are a part of the growing pains. Sometimes you need it to be bad and the pressure to be put on so change can happen. This will expose Mickey Loomis's plan to not only just Gayle, but other people as complete idiotic moves. Completely idiotic moves. So, this will fracture his hold and grasp on the team too, because it's already cracking the F up already. When Gayle fired that man, that possum, over him saying, hold on now, don't do it. That's injuries. Shut up. All right. So anyway, big ups to y'all, man. Appreciate y'all being in the stream, man. But listen, the bottom line is, man, we just have to keep up it up. The non-support of the team while still giving them, if you want these dollars, you're going to have to earn them. You're going to have to earn them. You got to get rid of these guys. You got to make sure you had it, because people are not going to support you. And I'm telling you, the Saints, listen, we're not going to support you. The Who Dats are not going to support you until there is a noticeable change in the administrative level of the New Orleans Saints organization. And that's for the Saints. And listen, you better get it, because the same shit gonna happen to your ass for the Pelicans. Because I'm telling you right now, David Griffin, that you better fire Willie Green as soon as possible and stop playing games. Doing secret extensions and signing the contracts last year, and then reporting them 6 months later at the end of the regular season and not allowing the reporters to question you on it is folly. That's as they say, diabolical work. But guess what? There's a mirror effect in this universe, and we're going to give you that diabolical work. And that means that we ain't supporting shit that you got going on. You're going to consider to see them numbers, that merch and all that stuff that you look to rely upon crash down on your empty ass head until you fire that Willie Green guy and move on and get some serious basketball. You don't think we see that man can't coach, man? Asking his coaches behind him, should I call a timeout? You don't think we see all that shit, man? We don't see that guy's over his head. You don't think we see all that? Don't think you can make it with injuries like this idiot Loomis is. You're going to get a rude awakening. We're not playing with y'all with that. Make the correct moves. KK, shout out to you, baby. Says, thank you for becoming a new member. Appreciate you, KK. Appreciate you there, KK. Good to see you, too. And that's what it is, fam. I'm just giving y'all a warning, man, because it's just customary. That's how thorough we are in the Who Dat Nation and in the Great Saint Think Tank, and also in the flock in the Pelican world, in the Pelican community. We thorough. We're going to tell you, hey, man, we're going to give you a chance. And if you don't listen, it ain't nothing for us not to do it. We just turn it off and see how you get it then. These people don't get it. That's why I say, man, it's the money got their vision blurry and messed up. But if you're getting it from the people, it's always about the work of doing the right and righteous thing. Another giblet information for the Saints is they need to get this. They need to get this right. It'll be interesting. This is going to be a very interesting season for Saints football. This is going to be very interesting. This is going to be a very interesting draft. It's going to be a very interesting offseason. This is going to be telling what happens in the offseason, man. I can't wait to observe what is going to happen. And then on the Pelican side of things, man, you know, it's the same. It's just so ridiculous. And I'm about to get out of here. How the Saints have 5 wins and the New Orleans Pelicans have 5 wins. You cannot make it up. They play in a few minutes right now, about 4 or 5 minutes. The Pelicans play. And I had a poll up the other day saying who gets the 6 wins first? Is it going to be the Saints on Monday night or the Pelicans tonight? And the Pelicans, by the way, are playing the Denver Nuggets. So I guess. And then the Saints play the Packers. They might be keeping them 5 goddamn wins going into the Christmas season. So, but it's still going to be a happy new year for them. But in terms of Saints and Pelican people out there, the faithful, oh my goodness, you couldn't. This is all kind of ways looking all kind of shifty. But like I said, change is necessary. All right. Brian says, I think they get this right in the offseason, Q. Okay, I got you, brother. I would have to concur with you because we're not playing with them. Gundam says, because if the sales continue to dwindle, will change come rapidly? It has to. That's the cause and effect. See, the thing is, number one, them recognizing what's going on. That's the first thing. Breaking through the if it's delusion or are they believing that it's just a trend and that you're not serious. You see, and then they watch over a period of time because that's how they read. They're not in the streets like that talking to you. They looking at analytical data. They used to do that a long time ago. They'll go in the streets and question people or poll people and take the results back. It's that human to human interaction, HUMET. That is not what they do. They're using analytical data. They're going to look at the sales. They're looking at it and correlating it to the games. They're doing that kind of stuff and then using that data to decide on what's going on. See what I'm saying? They don't do the face-to-face thing. They don't do that anymore. But there is a contingent of people that are listening to what they'll do then. Instead of talk to you, they'll listen to shows like this one here to see if they can get the feed off of what's going on and how the reaction of the word on the street is happening with the great Saint think tank, the Who Dat Nation, and how they're feeling about what the team is doing. They do that all the time. They'll dip in and out and they'll monitor what's going on and use the information they collect from here to then go and refer to the higher ups and tell them, hey man, y'all better do something. But my experience is the best way to get people who are held with which are literally blinded with making money, and that's what this is. To do better is when you stop the money. When the money falls, that's what they care about. Then you start seeing firings happen. Then you start seeing moves, big moves that's supposed to have happened like a year or two ago start happening. The money is the ultimate motivation for these folks. And when the money starts falling, there is not one person in that building worth losing tens of $millions for. They'll get your ass out of there, just like they did Dennis Allen, despite the assurances from Mickey Loomis that he would be okay. Because they were asking him that going into it, and they asked him, are you afraid of getting fired? He says no. He said that with no hesitation. You know why? Because Mickey Loomis was back there telling them, I got your back. Don't worry about it, guy. You're going to be all right. But what he didn't realize is he's not the one that has the power. The power is not in his hands to keep anybody safe. It's in your hands. And when you say no and you stick to your guns, they'll wipe the room with all of them. That's what I'm saying. So all you have to do is nothing. Don't go down there. Don't buy their shit. And while you're doing that, tell them what you in. And don't just say, fire this clown or whatever. But give them some solutions, because they're then open to how we gain their respect back, because they know they lost a lot of respect and cool points with the Who Dat Nation for 4 straight 9+ years, despite marketing to you every year that the Saints are ready to compete when they're not. So, it is what it is, man. Competent leadership is something that they need to definitely put on the forefront. That is not Mickey Loomis. That is not Dennis Lauscher. And like I told you guys, Dennis Lauscher is the reason why you don't see him is because the dude is like on the board of the hospital, the Ashland Hospital. He's one of the board of directors. He's on the board of directors. You like, Q, how could he be on the board of directors for Ashland Hospital? It's not one hospital. That's 47 hospitals that they have under the monopoly banner. How could he be doing all these different meetings with these people and still be the general manager of both the Saints and the Pelicans? The answer is he can't. That's why he was never around when the Saints were losing all those games. What was Dennis Lausch at? He could sneak around and do what he's doing because people are not pinpointing Dennis Lausch as a problem here. He's supposed to be having oversight on Mickey Loomis to make sure Mickey Loomis is doing what he's supposed to do. Where is he at? That's why I'm putting my crosses on him too, because he's a part of the problem too. He's not doing anything that he's supposed to do as a team president. You get what I'm saying? That guy oversees Mickey Loomis. Mickey Loomis, as a VP, supposed to oversee the general manager. He's both. That's why I said that is a conflict of interest that need to be broken up. Plus, he don't have a his recent reputation is shit. Now, let's just keep it under the buck. He just sacrificed a lot of that on Dennis Allen, who's not even worth that. We've seen Dennis Allen wasn't worth that. Was an off-code coach throwing his team under the bus, never apologized for his shitty losses, never apologized to anything except to the Falcons when he snuck the Falcons on that play in which he should have told them, go ahead and get it, man. Go ahead and get it. The team said, man, F this guy, and got it. And then they didn't fire him because when a team does that, coach tells them to not do that and they do another play, they lost the respect. He lost the locker room. Then they come out and lie and say, no, we didn't. Now, there's no fractures in the locker room. Later on the next year, Dennis Allen is fired after 7 straight losing games in which Mickey Loomis still comes out and says, Dennis Allen is a great coach. If he's so effing great, then why is he on the street? Huh? How wise guy, you break that down. Well, hold on now. Hold on. That's sarcasm. You just said that guy. Hold on. Stupid. All right. Giovanni says, Q, how will we get back to winning football again? Competent leadership, bro. As simple as that. That need to come from outside the building. No more of reaching back into the Saints past to look for people to come and help them and all this. I mean, cool to have Drew Brees to come in at as an advisor, stuff like that. But when you're looking at a coach, you need somebody with a winning temperament, somebody that can electrify the offense. I want an offensive-minded person, somebody that's high on accountability, a guy that has a proven system, a guy that can come in and do what he says and just do the right things, man, and a good staff of people. That's about that business. And also, really, before we can get to the head coach, we have to have proper leadership at the administrative level. They can have a joint vision of what the team is supposed to look like going forward, because I've asked the faithful, what is the identity of the New Orleans Saints? What are they? What is the identity of the team? What are they? Are they a passing team, a running team? What are they? What are they? We don't, you don't know. And that's is quite the conundrum, because they don't do either one of those things extremely well. They don't. Even with the starters back, they still can't run the ball. And they got the starters back. I thought that starters was the problem. You see what I'm talking about? We got to wait till we get the starters back, yo. That's when we got to, hold on now. We got to wait to get the starters back. And when we get the starters back, you're going to see it. And then we get the starters back, what they do? Nothing. Starters struggle against the Giants defensive line. The 5 starters struggle against Washington. They weren't even motivated in the Washington game. And these people getting paid big money. How they knew, they didn't even realize. They didn't come with no sense of urgency in that game, knowing with everything on the line. You mean to tell me they played like that for a half? And we happy for the little bit of shit they gave us in the second half? Man, get out of here, man. My question still is, why didn't what you did in the second half, you did in the first half? If you'd have done that, we'd have won them damn games. That's my question. I'm not content with half a game, man. Because if we are, I wouldn't say a damn thing if you paid them for a half a game. But you're going to pay them for a full game, and they paid a half a game, to hell with that, man. And if they don't like that, tell them go to hell. Because they know at the same time that that's not what you're supposed to do. You don't supposed to come here and have a shitty layoff period like that in a very important game if you're serious about a postseason run. They're not supposed to be doing that. That's why I was telling y'all during the season was that Dennis Allen picked a lot of these guys, and a lot of these guys not supposed to be on this team because they're contributing to that losing ass bullshit. A lot of these players that he picked Not all of them, but a lot of these guys that Dennis Allen picked they have on his team are not guys that's supposed to be here. Y'all know it and I know it. That's why this team is a stinking 5-9. It ain't got nothing to do entirely with injuries because you are trained as a player to get in here and do your job. Get your ass in here and do your job. I'm going to leave it on that. All right. So anyway, big ups to y'all, man. Appreciate y'all for being on the stream, man. Listen, the bottom line is, what's up, B-Con? Shout out to you, man. All right. Ro, I see you, fam. Much love, Ro. I see you, brother. Yeah, it's just another thing, man. It's just a part of it. B-Flat says the draft will not fix the Pelicans or Saints. This is clearly failed management and ownership, player talent. It's not the issue. Absolutely. B-Flat. You are sharp on that, man. Absolutely. This is not that. What's up, YO? Shout out to you, brother Arvin. This is truth talk time, and this is what you're gonna need to fix the team. You can't have all these no excuses, man. No excuses here. They got what 3 more games left. They got a very difficult game against Green Bay. Then after that, the Raiders, and then after that, Tampa Bay. And these teams are playing for stuff, man, except for the Raiders. But the Bucks and the Packers are going to be playing for stuff. So half-ass performances by the Saints, and they probably will play better because the pressure's off for them to do anything. You see, that's another team that's not about shit. All of a sudden, they're gonna start playing better because the pressure's off. It's no more pressure on them to do anything, so they can play free. That's another sign of a bullshit organization and a bullshit team. Once they realize they're not making the playoffs, now we can play free. Oh, watch this. We can do whatever we want now. Oh, yeah. That's another example of a bullshit organization. What's up, Chantel, baby? She says, Q, I have to give it to the Panthers. They're playing with heart. Yes, indeed. And we are not. We're not playing with full. We're not. And it's not just the Saints. Like I said, the same people run the Saints, run the Pelicans, and these teams don't play full games either. That's why the Pelicans lost against the Knicks the other night. They had a 10-point lead going into the third quarter, came out, fell on their ass, and then we're down by, I think, by as much as by almost, I forgot how many, 10 to 14 something odd points, and then lose by what was the final score? I know it was more than 10 points. I forget, man. It's all a mishmash right about now, man. It's all tore up. All right. So anyway, Gundam said I would send Ruiz and Patrick packing going away. Yeah, that bro, listen, y'all know how I feel about what's his name? Cesar Salad Ruiz. He had one good year, and I've been saying this for a while. The dude had one good year, but if you watched and study film, I'm talking exclusively about the film. This has nothing to do with likes and dislikes outside of that. His play is too inconsistent in film. He gets beat. He looks weak at times. His footwork is bad, and I can give you a Tali Fuaga or a Trevor Penning. Those are inexperienced offensive linemen, right? Even though Penning's been here for 3 years, he hadn't played. The first year he played 1 game. The second year he played 5 games, and then they benched him for the rest of the season pretty much. And he might have got some few reps here or there, but it's nothing worth than anything that you've mentioned. And then he finally comes back this year and he plays the entire year, which is a rookie year for Penning pretty much. 2 games, the first 2 years he played 6 games. For this year, it's really his rookie campaign in his 3rd year. You can see how they screwed this kid. That's why I always say about Penning, when they look at Penning, they say, oh, this guy garbage. You this, that, and the third. I'm like, fam, the Saints screwed this guy. They messed over him. They didn't play him in the first year, but 1 game at the end of the year. They played him on the left tackle position to protect Ramczyk, who could not shift the left tackle because of the injuries that they didn't tell you how bad that was. All that came out slowly after that situation. Because I was like, how you paying this man all this money and you don't want him to play at the left tackle position? Commonsensically, you're supposed to shift that guy over there. That's the better tackle. The better tackle protects the quarterback's blind side. Then you've seen all the rhetoric from the head coach Possum and others saying, oh man, the left tackle and the right tackle position is interchangeable. It's not, they're basically the same. Didn't it? Coach Possum then was saying that. And I'm like, no, they're not. No, they're freaking not. A left tackle that is really good is going to get paid, especially if that guy's protecting the blind side of your quarterback. The quarterback can't see back there. If he's a right-handed quarterback and he's here. His field of vision is here. Now he might look over that first before he spans the field, but his back is exposed. So he has to trust that left tackle to protect his back. That's why a lot of times the defender, they line up those defenders on that blind side so they can give him a surprise. But you hear them talking like, look at this idiot. What is he talking about? It's no rhyme or reason why a car is always hurting. You know? Man, these people, man, ain't serious about nothing. This ain't complicated, bro. None of this is complicated. It's not complicated. They're not operating from intelligence. They're operating out of emotion. And that's a problem. You can't run no organization or business off of emotion, man. You got to use logic. You got to use reasoning. And you got to have foresight where you could be able to look and span out and have options. You can't run this situation. That man running the team is the most emotional, thin-skinned person in the entire organization, man. You can't stand up to tough questions from the reporters. That's why he ran away from Bobby Hebert, where Hebert was asking him questions. He don't want him to answer him questions. Now it's all Mike Hoss giving him softball ass and can't stand up to questioning of your plan. Your plan falling through the floor. Now you won't stand your braggadocious, egotistical ass out front and protect what you got going on. You don't want to answer questions about your failing ass organization over the last 4 years, Mickey flipping Loomis. You don't want to answer any questions about why this team is failing and why they look like crap and garbage, how they done missed 4 years straight of playoffs, and this is your decision making. It's strictly and firmly on you. You don't want to answer no question. You won't keep your sorry ass guessing and running and let softball, brown nose, and Hoss ask you questions all the time about the team. You won't make it with that, brother. There ain't no running from us, man. You can't run from us no more. It's no running from us no more. And shit talking to us no more. We've had enough and we taking possession of this, all this shit. That's why we got Gail, the use power. We flex our proverbial muscle over you, and you sitting up there with two jobs, the VP and the general manager job, and we still had her to fire that asshole over you saying, wait, stop, don't do it. How much power do you really have when we got the ear of the owner? You next. You about to lose power, playboy. And you should have listened because we tried to give you the game and you didn't want to listen. So let this fall on your empty ass head. May it fall on your head. Sometimes that's what people got to get it. Some people that blind, some so ignorant. So let the roof fall on your empty ass head at the end of it. So anyway, let me get on up out of here, man. I got to go watch this Pelican game and watch them lose. Hold on now. I was supposed to say that, and I was supposed to say that shit in the back of my head.
What?
I know I was supposed to say that inside of my, that was it. What I was thinking. I wasn't supposed to say that. You know, I was supposed to.
What?
I know. It says, Q, your thoughts on trade for a hooker from the Lions, a third and another later round pick for him. We still have our picks with third rounders and Hooker ready to learn from golf playing elite. I don't think they turn them loose, bro. I don't think they turn them loose. They got golf playing really well right now, but Hooker is the future of Detroit. Matt Campbell, I don't think they turn him loose. When golf had that issue, when he had a little injury history, Hooker went in there and played really well. I don't think they turn him loose. I don't think you get them. You know, I'm gonna be honest with you. I see you. You say like, man, damn, Hooker's good, man. He's good. I like, yeah, I know, but they're not. And the Saints had a chance at him. You see what I'm saying? The Saints had if you go back and listen to the year when he was being drafted, I was ranting and raving about that kid. I was saying, fam, listen, Hooker, listen, this guy here, da 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 da. I did the same thing for Jalen Hurt. When Hurt came out, like, fam, listen, they got this guy for Alabama. He went to Oklahoma. He was at Alabama, this kid. That's why he went to Oklahoma, because he wanted to show people that he could throw the ball, da 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 da. And he's not the perfect quarterback, but he's a guy that is problematic. We can't beat him. Every time we play against Philly and Jalen Hurt, he hurts the Saints. The only time we did beat him is when Hurts would hurt. You had Gardner Minshew in there, and we made mincemeat out of Minshew. That's the only time. But the thing is, You see it. You see it, don't you, Brother James? You see it, I see it, and they see it, and they are Detroit. And Detroit's not going to turn them loose. And the Saints had an opportunity to get Hooker. We were saying it during the draft. Like, man, they need to go look at this kid, look at that kid. You know what I'm saying? Because you see the talent. There are guys that you look at that come out of the draft, like, man, they need to look at that guy. That's something special about that quarterback there or about that particular player. It's just what it is, you know? But anyway, man, listen, man, I'm a shout out to y'all, man. I appreciate y'all so kindly, man. Much love. Listen, this is not a negative stream. Look, I'm gonna leave y'all with this. This is not negative. Listen, all in throughout life, and the Great Saint Think Tank is extremely wise. All throughout life, in every corner of change, it comes with a degree of discomfort. You know that. For people that are grown up, like when I was growing up, and I was growing from, I was always a big kid, but when I got to be taller and grew up, you had little pains in your arms and your legs, stuff like that. It was part of the growth process, right? And same in life. Like if you transitioning, meaning if you are looking to do better in your life financially, relationship wise, career wise, wherever you are, there's going to be a bit of discomfort when you move from something to something else. There's going to be something, you at times you'll have some seamless transition. Sometimes that does happen, but the majority of the time it is not. Seamless transitions happen. You get that when you move right when you're supposed to. That's when you and the universe line up, and that's you and the Lord line up together, and you move right when you get the word to move, and you got a seamless move. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's a test between where you're coming from and where you're going to. Sometimes it's a little difficulty, a little test there to see if you deserve to be up there. So it really depends on you and your situation, because something you might need to change something about your character, yourself, your character, or whatever it may be, for you to make that jump. You can't get up to there without having a correction that you need to make in your life on yourself, or whatever the case may be. That happens. You see what I'm saying? That happens. This is the same situation with the New Orleans Saints. All this has to happen. The last 4 years of funk and stank had to have happened for the pressure to fall, for the mistrust rather, to build with Gale and Loomis and Lauscher. 4 years, the plan was garbage, right? She is cracks and fractures there, which will bring about change. There's pressure from the outside for her to sell the team. You get what I'm saying? Prior to this stuff wasn't happening like this, not in this, grand way, like you see in all the articles. And it's becoming like, if you can't do it, then move on. And like people also say, man, girl, she don't know what she's doing. Let's just, see if she won't sell the team. So it depends. Like if she still believes in the vision, then she will do what she needs to do to establish. I said this when she took over the team. She needs to have her own vision. You can't operate in a live world with the vision of a dead man. It takes something from the world of the living to adjust to what's going on today, not yesterday. You get what I'm saying? Did you catch that? And all that is happening in front of us right now, which will bring about the most important offseason in Saints history. What will happen this offseason? They understand that. They understand what's at stake, which is the support for both Saints and Pelican organizations. They can't get away from it. Yeah, it took a while, but we are here. All right. So anyway, with that being said, man, we're going to get out on this one, man. I appreciate y'all so much, man. Thank y'all for listening to me. Y'all do me a service, man. Check out our sponsors, man. Thank you, KK. Shout out to you as well. Yeah, pain and punishment. Yeah, watching the pill. I know. But y'all do me a service. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. If you're not a subscriber, feel free to share the show on social media feed or take the Coma wherever you guys go and socialize. Also, check out our sponsors, Mint Mobile, Teach, Henley. They're having holiday sales going on right now, and perhaps they could save you some money on with a offering, and the links in the description section below, along with Bet Online, and also links for merch and support of the Sports Coma or our platforms, man. Listen, all them links is in the description section below. So with that being said, man, we'll be on the Pelican post-game report later on tonight, man, after the game is over with. I appreciate y'all, man. And I'm going to holler at y'all on what is today? Well, tomorrow for the Saints game. We're gonna do the play-by-play and a live watch for the Saints versus the Packers Monday night affair. Much love to the fan. Appreciate y'all. And who that?
Yeah. Boogie like Benson, I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Long as I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. Sports Coma, yeah, this is where we do that. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that. Boogie like Benson, I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Sports Coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Somebody please better help. Running this thing like Elf. Thank God every day I'm not a felt. Go to YouTube Live with Big Q and the guys. If you ain't ride or die, the bandwagon get flipped. Been marching in, that was way for the ring. I was yelling out your shame for the championship. Bucking on town, duck down. Falcons, pluck, get shut down. Panthers ain't much touchdown. The vision really belong to us now. So much hate on the Saints, you could probably tell. Ever since Bounty Gate hit the NFL, when things seem fishy and you probably smell the crooked referees on Roger Goodell. Yeah, probably like this and I'm a who that. Every day I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. It's the Sports Coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that. Boogie like this and I'm a who that. It's the Sports Coma, this is where we do that.
You're listening to the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys on the PRO Media Network.
Bet Online is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting. From the earliest odds to in-game live betting, Bet Online provides you with all the action, the ability to watch the games as they happen. With the largest selection of odds on everything from football, NBA, and college basketball, NHL to UFC and MMA. Head to Bet Online today to get in on all the action with America's most trusted site for online wagering. Bet Online, the game starts here. Bet Online.
WhoThatDaily.com. That's right, the WhoThatDaily.com. Your one-stop shop for everything New Orleans Saints, New Orleans Pelicans, LSU Tigers, even the top flight boxing news. So if you're a Who Dat and you're looking for a place to stay up on your team, WhoThatDaily.com is your site. The WhoThatDaily.com for the sport Who Dat in all of us. That's right, the Pro Shop is the platform store where you can go and buy all the latest merch to support the platform. Available at the Pro Shops, we have dozens of hundreds of products available for you and your family. Unisex tees for men and women, hoodies and sweatshirts, tank tops, kids and baby items, long sleeve tees, mugs, pillows, wall art, bath bedding, face masks, phone cases, stickers, bags, fanny packs, socks, hats, and many other items. Please feel free to check out the Pro Shops. The link is in the description section below. And remember, it helps the platform continue to grow. Check out the Pro Shop and Who Dat too.